What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I actually just got done filming 2 videos where I talked about freelance blogging and my new course coming out soon and all that good stuff. But before I, clean up all my camera gear and shit like that, I thought I would go ahead and film a little Q&A video from the questions you guys had asked me on Facebook and Instagram. Which, by the way, Instagram is where I am most active online, so if you're not following me over there, you're kind of missing out. Go ahead and follow me at Jordan McKell. That way you can get in on the next Q&A. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into these questions. The first question is from Angie, and she says, I would love to learn more about your digital nomad lifestyle. Do you plan out your next trip/move, or is it all spontaneous? So first of all, I have a blog post that talks all about the kind of hot mess / awesome time that was our transition into digital nomad life. So I will link that above my head right now and below for you guys, as always. But I think it's a little bit of a mixture of both. Like, the first place we ever booked was on the Oregon coast in a really tiny town. And I booked a month there because my husband and I just couldn't decide what town to stay in, what Airbnb to stay in. There's like a lot of little micro decisions that go into it, which can be kind of overwhelming when you're already making a lot of decisions because you're running a business. So yeah, ultimately we just had to say fuck it and just pick something and go with it and hope for the best. So that was pretty spontaneous. That was not super planned out, but we do plan out usually like a couple months in advance at this point. Like, after having done it for a while, I quickly learned that if you want to book out an Airbnb for like 3 to 4 weeks at a time, which usually we do because we do like slower travel, and you can get like discounts on Airbnb if you stay for longer time frames, you've got to book out in advance, especially the places we've been staying along the West Coast, little California and Oregon beach towns, and we're in LA right now. Places book up really fast, especially the more affordable places or places that are in the spots where you want to be by the beach and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's kind of been a mixture of both. Some spontaneous stuff, but still a lot of planning goes into it for sure. And we also have our 2 chihuahuas with us. I'll throw a picture of them on the screen right now. They're basically our kids and they're adorable, so we do kind of have to plan around them and where they can go and things like that. So yeah, that part of it has definitely required some planning too. Amanda says, how do you market yourself as a writer when you don't have anything published yet? So Amanda, check out the description box. I'm going to post a ton of links below for you, but above my head right now, and the main one I want you to look at, is my freelance writing portfolio tutorial, because that will teach you exactly how to create a portfolio, and it has a link to another post that I've written that talks to you about how to create your writing samples. So definitely go check that out, and that will walk you through the entire process. Rosalind says, what is your diet and exercise routine like? That is an interesting question and not something I get asked about too much. So as far as diet, I eat a completely vegan diet. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm the healthiest vegan ever, because I'm definitely not. Like, just yesterday, I had ordered like some vegan pastries, which they've got a lot of in LA. It's getting me into a lot of trouble with my diet. But I mean, I do eat pretty healthy. I would say like 80 to 85% of the time. So I eat a lot of salads, or I'll eat like vegan sandwiches, stuff like that. Not a lot of junk food. I'm definitely not like a junk food vegan, but I definitely do indulge in junk food sometimes. I don't ever tell myself, no, you can't have that. I just kind of try to keep it really balanced. As far as exercise, my exercise routine is completely fucked right now. When we lived in Dallas and when we kind of had more of a routine and like a stable gym we could go to all the time, I would go probably 4 to 5 days a week. I would do cardio, and I would also weight train. I've done yoga, I've done boxing, so I think I just kind of go with what feels good for me at the time. When I felt like doing yoga, I did yoga. When I felt like boxing, I did boxing. And when I felt like weight training, that's what I did. So I think really the thing for me is I think about what I would enjoy the most at that time period in my life, and I do that, because I know ultimately if I try to make myself do something I hate, like run on a treadmill for an hour, that shit might last like 2 weeks, but it's not gonna last any longer than that. So right now, I'm just kind of doing what I can. We're still getting our bearings here in LA. We've been traveling and staying in places 2 to 3 days at a time for the past several weeks. But now that we're in LA, I'm gonna try to get back in more of a gym routine, which is probably just gonna be back to how it was when we had our home in Dallas, which is weight training with a little bit of cardio. So the next question is from Savannah, and she says, how do you know which businesses to email? And I'm assuming this is for cold emailing as a freelance writer, since that's what I talk about all the time. And then she asks, how do you know which person in the company to email? So Savannah, you want to email a business in your niche. What is your niche? If you are a, software blogger, email software companies. And as far as the person you want to email, you want to think about who is the person in charge of hiring writers at that business and email that specific person. So I go over this really in depth actually in my Killer Cold Emailing course for freelance writers. That is open right now, so I will throw the link above my head and below so you guys can check that out to get the step-by-step process. Okay, Diana is asking, how were the first few weeks / month of freelancing like? What were the challenges you faced? I think the most challenging part was just that first initial shock of getting over being fired from my full-time job and then having the health problems, getting a really early stage skin cancer. I was really fortunate. Both of those situations ended up working out totally fine, but it was still really stressful. And it's not really ideal to be under that much stress trying to start a business, or maybe it is because it did push me to actually get shit done so I could pay my rent, so I could pay my medical bills, things like that. So it did give me that extra push because it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I could do this. It's like, no, I really need to go ahead and make this happen. And yeah, I could have gotten another job, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I really had my mind set on, this is what I'm gonna do no matter what. I remember telling my husband, like, I don't care if I have to work just like the crappiest, lowest paying job, just part-time so I can make enough to get by and build my business on the side. I will do that, I'll do whatever it takes. And it never came to that, but I think having that attitude really helped me push through those times that were tough and stressful, and I got rejected because everybody does, and I had some awkward client calls because everybody does, just going through those first few weeks and months when things feel kind of uncertain. But I actually have a blog post that breaks down my first 4 months as a freelance writer and what I did during those months to get clients. So if that's kind of more what you're looking for, I will link that for you in the description box so you can check it out. Karen says, I want to write for a living and be self-employed. I just don't know where to start or what niche to have. So Karen, I could sit here and talk to you about this for like 3 hours and walk you through it, but I actually already have a totally free class that will walk you through each of the steps. So instead, I'm just going to keep things really simple because that class is really well put together. It has slides and everything for you to follow along, and I will share that link with you above my head right now and down below in the description box. So definitely check that out if you have no idea how to get started freelance writing and you want to get clients. The next question says, hi Jordan, how many blog posts would you say is a good amount to start off with when launching your freelance writer website? Having trouble settling on a number. So what matters the most is not the number, it's the relevance. You want to have, I would say to start out, 2 to 3 relevant pieces is fine, but they need to be super relevant. So if you're marketing yourself as a finance blog post writer, 2 to 3 marketing blog posts, even if they are self-published, is totally fine. Even when you're more established and you have more pieces to choose from, it's good to keep your portfolio small, because think about it. The smaller the number of pieces you have, the more control you have over which one the client is randomly going to click on, because they're not going to read through each and every piece that you have in your portfolio. They're just going to click whichever one sounds the most appealing, and you want the situation to be set up so that no matter which one they click on, they're going to get something that's super relevant and very well written, so your best work. So yeah, that's the long answer. Short answer is start out with 2 to 3 and then increase to 4 to 6 as you grow your portfolio. The next question is, I don't know how to write a blog post from title to description to meta description, how to create content, and how to write interesting articles and research for articles. So basically, it sounds like you just need help writing a blog post from start to finish. I do have some videos on that here on my YouTube channel, really old videos, like some of the first ones I think I ever filmed, so you can check those out. And I also have a new paid course that is launching summer 2019. I will link to the waitlist for that above my head right now and below in the description box. When you sign up for the waitlist, you can save $50 on the course when it launches, and you will get a free SEO cheat sheet to learn how to optimize a blog post. But that course basically will walk you through every single step of how to write blog posts that clients will pay $200 to $400 each for. So definitely check that out and get on that wait list if that's something you want to learn about. The next question says, do you think travel writing is a smart choice for getting paid well? And how do you make a portfolio if you're just starting out and have no customers? So I will throw a link to my portfolio tutorial above. Definitely go check that out. It's super in-depth, one of my most popular posts, and you have to have a portfolio before you start pitching. So I really recommend setting a goal to go ahead and set that up in the next 2 days, in the next week. Give yourself a time frame, follow that tutorial step by step, and you will find it super easy to set up your website. It has everything you need to know. But yeah, I do think travel writing can be lucrative. I think just like with most niches, it depends on who you target within that niche, because the same niche can be profitable and not profitable depending on who you're targeting. If you're targeting broke-ass clients who don't have any budget to pay bloggers, then yeah, it's not going to be very lucrative. But if you find the target clients in your niche that do have a good content marketing budget, that do get value from blog posts, that is where you want to be. Those are the clients who are going to pay you $200, $300, $500 or more per blog post. And I do personally know some freelance writers who are in the travel niche and doing well. So yes, I think it can be a profitable niche for sure. Just depends on your marketing strategy and who you are targeting in that niche. So I think I'm gonna wrap up right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram to get in on the next Q&A and follow along with my travels. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.